Hi everybody and welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm your host Jason Holland and today we'll be covering this week's action of baseball, basketball, softball, and the starts of spring track and tennis seasons. Before we get into the action, make sure to take a second to subscribe to KNWT TV on YouTube. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell to be notified the second that we post new content. Cue intro.
Left to right will take the handoff, and he's hitting to the backfield. Breaks loose from one would-be tackler around the corner right side to the 30, 25, sideline 20 to the 15, the 10, the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown Northwest. West, ball at the 19-yard line.
The Bearcat baseball team started by splitting a doubleheader against the Henderson State Reddies, with Game 1 going 12-6 in the Bearcats' favor, but unfortunately they dropped the second game 4-6. But fear not, Bearcat baseball demolished the Henderson State Reddies on Saturday with an outstanding score of 15-6, making the Bearcats baseball's record now 4-3 on the year. Pitcher Jacob Gatchik picked up his first win with 4 strikeouts to take home the win. Assisting in those 15 runs was junior Kahaki Young, who went 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs, and senior Noah Bodenhausen, who went 2 for 4 with 1 RBI. Great job to the boys on the baseball team as they will face off once again against the Reddies. But that's not it for your weekly baseball content. Our reporter Wesley Miller caught up with senior pitcher Quinn Mason. Take it away, Wesley.
Hello. I'm Wesley Miller for Bearcat Update. The Northwest baseball season is officially underway after the Bearcats went 2-2 against Christian Brothers February 1st through the 3rd in Memphis, Tennessee. After Northwest won 2 of its first 3 games, the program had its first winning record since the team won 5 of its first 7 contests in the shortened 2020 season. But one player isn't just looking to improve the team, he's also looking to make the most of his second season in a new situation. Quinn Mason, senior right-handed pitcher and outfielder for Northwest, has been on quite the journey before his stop in Maryville. He won a district title in Nebraska with Gretna High School in 2019 while posting 49 strikeouts and a 2.76 ERA en route to a first-team All-State selection. His high school performance eventually led him to earning a spot with Division I's University of Nebraska baseball team. I had the opportunity to speak with Mason earlier this week, and while he said playing Division I baseball can be a grind, it helped build him into the player he is today. After 3 seasons with the Huskers, Mason decided he needed a change and transferred to Northwest. Although Mason may have struggled in his first year in the green and white, he said he's still adjusting to the new environment. He said it's more relaxed with the Bearcats, which is what he was hoping for when he made the move. In 2023, Northwest finished 13-34 overall, 10-23 in the MIAA, and placed last in the conference standings. Mason said the team is working to make sure it doesn't happen again, and the players were just excited to be back out on the diamond. To help his team revamp, he said he's working on tightening up his pitching and hitting, and he really wants to make sure he just enjoys himself. He and the rest of the Bearcats can do so this weekend with 4 games against Great American Conference foe Henderson State in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. For Bearcat Update, I'm Wesley Miller.
Thanks, Wesley. The baseball team is looking to obtain their first winning record since 2018, and at 4-3, they are on their way. On Friday, the track team headed to the 9th annual Indoor Gorilla Classic in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Sophomore Whitney Post took home 4th in the women's mile with a time just short of 5 minutes and 6 seconds. Meanwhile, teammate Elena Tibbold finished in first place with a time right below 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Fellow sophomore Maxine Toron took home first in the 800 meter. Meanwhile, in the women's 800 meter, Lydia McLaughlin and Kaylee Harp would take home 2nd and 3rd. Blake Morgan would take home 4th in the men's high jump, and both the men's and women's teams placed 3rd in the region, proving the outstanding showing for our Bearcat track and field stars this weekend. But despite the fact that the Bearcats weren't able to perform at home this weekend, we figured a history lesson about Bearcat Stadium couldn't hurt. Take it away, Taden.
Hi, I'm Taden Hensley, and today I'll be talking about Bearcat Stadium and the history of what makes this stadium known as the crown jewel of the MIAA. Bearcat Stadium was built in 1917 and was originally named Memorial Stadium until it was changed in 1961 to Ricketts Stadium in honor of longtime Northwest employee William Ricketts. During this time, head coach Mel Diersma would put Bearcat football on the map and win back-to-back Division II championships in 1998 and 1999, where both those games would broadcast on ESPN. The stadium has had many renovations since 2000 by installing synthetic turf, new lights allowing the university to open the field for many other activities, increased seating capacity, we're now having 6,500 seats, 10 luxury suites, and a new scoreboard complete with a video board, and would later name the field Mel Diersma Field. The stadium has also hosted the 2006 NCAA Division II semifinal football game, where it was Northwest against Bloomberg on December 10th, making the first night game since 1977 and the first nationally televised game featuring ESPNU, and became the first national broadcast by an ESPN network from MIAA site in conference history. And with that, that has been the history of Bearcat Stadium.
But that wasn't the only team dominating this week, as the men's basketball team has been looking just like Churchman's championship Bearcats, winning 14 of their last 15 games. Despite this being a quote-unquote down year, the Bearcats are 19-4, sitting atop the MIAA. If you're looking for any singular reason as to why the team is so good, then you might just be out of luck. With a scorer like Bennett Sturts, it made the loss of Wes Dreamer almost an afterthought. But Sturts wasn't the only guy putting the ball in the basket. Junior Mitch Mascari was on fire from long range on Saturday night. The Bearcats took home a hard-fought road win. Mascari's 27 points was everything Coach McCollum needed as the Bearcats extended their win. Like to do things a bit different, so we assigned one of our reporters to teach you how to play point guard. So on that note, take it away, Zach.
Hello everyone, my name is Zach Scott, and welcome to the first rendition of Hybrid Hype, the show where we look a little bit further into the niches of the classic sports position. And in today's first episode, we're going to be looking into the point guard of basketball. Let's get into it. The guard position is normally meant for shorter players who have a great awareness of where they are on the court, as long as they have good on and off ball movement, which in good cases they normally will always have. The point guard you will normally see starting off the ball on possessions, which means they will get it thrown into them, and then they will start their game plan. What is that game plan? Let's talk about it. The point guard has a simple but difficult role in basketball. And to help me out, I've got something right here. So let's see, what's their game plan? So the point guard normally calls the play, starts the play, makes the play work, navigate around the defenders, and then run back on defense, and then repeat this all over again. Oh yeah, I said this was simple. None of this is simple. Now the point guard feels like a hard position with repetitive feeling, and all you're doing is going back and forth. But think again. That's where we get into the hybrid part of Hybrid Hype. I would like to introduce you to the Hezzy guard. Oh please. That was our very own example of the Hezzy guard, women's basketball's own number 21, Lainey Joseph, showing you exactly what it means to be an offensive threat. What you will see here after this last clip is the defensive rushes over to distinguish the possibility of the ISO, leaving other players open to drive to the basket or make amazing plays, like this one you'll see here. And she's gone. No one in sight. No one at all. Now isn't that awesome? playing a hezzy guard and having a hezzy guard just makes everywhere on the floor offensively just open up, because double teams are all of a sudden needed for everyone to isolate the ISO, and someone's open at all times. So, in my opinion, the hezzy guard is easily one of the best positions to have on your team. But unfortunately, that's all we have for today. So, in a little bit, I'm going to be taking it back to Jason. But, till the next time, guys, we'll see you back here on Hybrid Hype. Take it away, Jason.
Now, as we established last season, we saw that I will not be getting a spot in Coach Meyer's lineup, but it was our point guard, Marley Hartnett, who did need Zach's course because she has been dominating so far this year. On Wednesday, Molly notched her 17th career 20-point game, further cementing herself as a phenomenal player and leader as well. The team began the year with a 7-game win streak before enduring some hardships, going 5-4 over the last 9 games. But the Bearcats are back to their winning ways as they have won 6 of the last 7. Speaking of sports with winning traditions, we figured we'd give you an inside look as to what the football team is doing to prepare for the upcoming season, brought to you by Luke Matthews. Take it away.
Hello everybody, I hope you all are enjoying your Bearcat update for the day. I'm Luke Matthews, and on my segment for the next couple months, you can expect an insight on what the offseason looks like for the Bearcat football team. On this week's edition, I talked to the weight room staff for all Bearcat athletics. Considering it is the offseason, the football players see this group of hardworking men and women more than they see their friends, family, coaches, or anyone else involved in the success of the team. I caught up with Joe Quinlan and Matt Wendelberger, the two men behind getting the football team conditioned and ready to go for the long season that inevitably awaits.
So Winter Wonderland, we started a few years back just to have a focus. Our goal is to play late in December, and so with the colder weather, we say we have to be out and training, and so mentally we're prepped for it. And it's been very beneficial that way, team building, but also just focus on some of the small things, even when it's cold, even when it's wet, even when it's raining.
We have that massive indoor facility. Really throws the guys for a curveball mentally. When they see that when they step on campus as freshmen, they think that we're going to be in there until they find out that we're going to be outside in the cold. The elements, it brings them closer together. Everybody's there, enjoying or somewhat enjoying that suck of just being out there at 5 a.m. in the cold and in the snow. And it shows. I mean, these guys are closer than they've ever been.
It's more of a mindset to know that we're going to be in the elements, and our goal again is to play late December. I mean, I stepped on campus in '96, and we just started winning. So expectations at that point were just way different. Now, expectations are to win a national championship every year. Just expectations from where I was coming in as a player to where we are a few years later.
So coming from Fort Hays State, obviously an outsider coming in, a program that was built when I was there. Seeing how things are done there to here, it's really the biggest difference is just the family atmosphere as far as in the weight room. There was only 2 guys, and then here we have an entire staff. I'd say the difference about the off-season, coming off the 74 season, is just the attitude of our players. They were in a good position last year to be successful, just came up short. Not having a lot of returners or older guys on the roster this year elevates our lower guys, and I think that's the responsibility they feel in the weight room and on the field for conditioning. A lot of guys, those younger guys, are bumping into that leadership role.
I think there's a bigger sense of urgency just because of you're always making the playoffs, even though we might not win conference. But something about this year, the upperclassmen not wanting to take a step back, and so it's kind of a good offseason to set a new foundation.
I hope you all enjoyed, and you can expect deeper dives into the football program here at Northwest every week. Enjoy, guys.
But just like the football team, we're going to take a break. Stick around to meet some of the new faces from the cheer team as well as the disc golf team.
KZLX is a student-run radio station where Northwest students have complete freedom during their shifts. KZLX also hosts many radio shows such as Nermageddon, Revive, Day-to-Day Picks, and more. To learn more, visit kzlxfm.com.
Hey guys, I have the new season of Gen 2.
Yeah! Get over here, let's check it out!
tell, you always gotta blow these things out. Alrighty guys, gather around.
Welcome back to Bearcat Update. As we head into the final stretch of this episode, we have some things you guys haven't seen before. This season we have the luxury of having a member of our crew also being on the cheer team. So let's meet the cheer team.
Of all the athletic programs that are highlighted here at Northwest, one of the least touched on is the Northwest Bearcat cheer team. Over the next few weeks, I'll try to give some insight on the lives of some of the cheerleaders, and one of the people that personifies cheerleader is Bella Wokuch.
My name is Bella Wokuch, and I'm a freshman this year. I am majoring in criminology, and I am a top girl in cheer.
Bella is no stranger to the sport. It was only right that she ended up here as a Bearcat cheerleader.
My older sister cheered here at Northwest, and I've always done cheer my whole life, so I wanted to be a part of it like she was.
Bella frequently visited Northwest cheer clinics before joining the team last April. But before she became a Bearcat, Bella cheered at Elkhorn North High School in Nebraska, where she found the programs to be very different in regards to stunning.
For me, the biggest difference between high school cheer and college cheer is that in high school I was in Nebraska, so we were ground bound, which meant we didn't do many stunting, and here at Northwest, it is primarily stunts and pyramids.
Bella's cheer roots can be traced back to her sister Autumn Wokuch, one of the most decorated Bearcat cheerleaders of all time, who Bella shares a deep gratitude and respect towards.
I've always looked up to my older sister, and I would come to all of the games, would always cheer her on, and I was really excited this year coming in and getting to be a part of the team that I looked up to so much.
While Bella still has a potential few more years as a Bearcat cheerleader, she plans to continue giving back to the sport in many different ways after she has called it a career at Northwest.
Cheer has always been a really big part of my life, and after college I would at least like to pursue coaching, and if not, I would like to be somewhere in the varsity staff.
Being part of the cheer team is more for Bella than just throwing stunts. It's about building relationships with her teammates.
Our cheer program is a really amazing thing to be a part of, and you make a lot of great memories with a lot of new friends.
That's all the time we have over here with the cheer team. We're going to swing it back over to your host. Take it away, Jason.
Thanks, Jake. Despite Bella's young age, that hasn't placed a cap on her determination, which is what it also takes to succeed on the disc golf course. Our final pack is going to cover what it takes to learn the basics of disc golf. So take it away, Jacob.
My name is Jacob Mustard. I'm the president of the Bearcat Disc Golf Club. This is episode 1 of Bogies to Birdies. Bogies to Birdies is a new series where we're going to take a member of the disc golf club here on campus and train them to be a par or better golfer. A little bit about myself: I've been playing for about 3.5 years, and I got a good understanding of all the basics and some of the advanced techniques. I want to go ahead and share those with one of our new members and get them to a level where they feel comfortable competing in tournaments. Now, let's take a minute to meet the other members.
I'm John Reinhardt, the assistant coach and vice president of the Disc Golf Club here at Northwest Missouri State. I'm here to offer a secondary perspective and help Noah increase his power and consistency in both backhand and forehand. I've been playing competitively for about 2 years now. I currently play MA2, but plan to jump up to MA1 early this season. I am a COVID golfer, and as much as this is an opportunity for me to coach Noah and help him improve in his game, this is also an opportunity for me to help coach myself and reinforce the key aspects that I should be doing.
My name is Noah Cornelius, and I've been playing disc golf for the past 6 months. My uncle introduced me to it my junior year of high school, but I've recently been playing consistently until the past year. The biggest takeaway I want from all this training is to simply just improve my game and take it to the next level. I play casually with a lot of my friends back home, and I'm wishing to beat them. Disc golf's a newer hobby of mine, and it's something that I share with my uncle and appreciate a lot. To a certain degree, it's almost therapeutic for me, just getting outside and playing, and so I really just want to focus and improve my craft. The aspect of my game that I'm the most confident in is my putting. I feel like I put a lot of time and effort into that. One area I'm looking to improve is both my backhand and forehand drives, as I've had a lot of struggles on the tee pad. Another thing I love about the sport is just the community behind it. My uncle lives in Perrysburg, Ohio, and that's where I started playing with him, was for a couple of weeks one summer. And then I took what he taught me all the way to back home in Warrenville, Illinois, which is just outside Chicago. And that's where I play with my buddies over the summers, and to come out to school here in Maryville, Missouri, and meet a great group of guys and just go out and play with them. It's really cool and an aspect of the sport I enjoy a lot.
This has been Bogies to Birdies here on Bearcat Update.
Make sure you tune in next week where we actually take Noah out to the course and get a baseline of what he's able to do.
I'm looking forward to getting back out there and playing a new course.
Thanks, Jacob. Stick around after this break to catch our preview of the basketball team's home matchup against Rogers State.
Here at Tower Yearbook, we are a dedicated staff of photographers, designers, copywriters, and practicum students.
Our staff is a student-led, student-run media outlet, producing a book with over 300 pages. Be sure to pop out at any of our portrait or distribution events.
So stay tuned to our social media to see what's up.
For years, it has been Channel 8 News, the station that has kept the Northwest and Maryville community informed. Although the image has changed, the mission has not. It all happens here, every Monday at 9 a.m. on KNWT TV. This is Northwest News.
Welcome back to Bearcat Update. I'm Wiley Ray. Alongside me is Cade Ricketts, and you're watching Bearcat Update with the X. Cade, we're going to talk a little bit about men's and women's basketball here as they get ready for their matchup against Rogers State. How are you feeling about that?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, the Bearcats come into this game obviously 19-4 overall, 15-2 in conference. It has just been a really impressive season, and don't forget, 9-0 at home.
Yeah, not to mention the last time we played Rogers State, the Bearcats got the win 78-57.
Yeah, and I mean, in that game, it was Wes who kind of took the game over, 27 points. He looked really strong on that one, but of course, this time around, we don't know what that's going to look like. Is he going to be here? Is he not going to be here? So, but even without him, it was Mitch Muscari who really took over just the last game, hitting 9 3-pointers. So super impressive for Mitch. He's kind of fallen into the West role almost.
Yeah, and that really has helped uplift the Bearcats to their 8-game win streak. They've won 8 in a row, coming off the 75-72 win at Washburn, and it'll be a good matchup as we look forward to Rogers State.
Yeah, I mean, Rogers State has just been not the best season that they've wanted so far. Like I talked about, the 13-9 overall. I just think going into this game, you just have to have a good feeling about how we're going to be able to score on them. And I think it's going to be a really similar way to the first game, even without Wes.
Yeah, Bearcats undefeated at home still once again. Bearcats really looking to keep that home streak alive and go into the conclusion of their home stretch with an undefeated season, which really is kind of rare you see not only in any type of level of basketball, but especially MIAA basketball.
Yeah, and we saw just last week, I mean, Washburn had that undefeated record at home. They were 10-0, and then we went into their place and we got the win. It was a close game. Not to mention the way we've been playing. I mean, 3 wins in a row by 3 points. I don't know what that's all about, but they've been close games, but just to be on the right side of those has been huge for us going as the season finishes up.
Yeah, and you talk about going 3 games in a row, winning by 3. Talk about back-to-back games where the Bearcats have lost the turnover battle, but you look at a big offensive production with the absence of West Dreamer, as you mentioned, Mitch Mascari, but also with Byron Alexander, who we didn't see in most of January with that foot injury.
Yeah, and I mean, just to get somebody of his caliber back this late in the season just adds such a boost to the team overall. I mean, it's something that I think the fans didn't expect to happen, but I think we're all grateful that he's back and healthy.
Yeah, Byron taking 10 minutes in his last appearance and brought in 10 points as well, and so that's a big addition to the lineup as West Dreamer is going to take a little bit of a break. We haven't seen him the last couple games, but hopefully we get to see him as well, and he's back to full strength.
Yeah, another thing to talk about too here for the Hillcats, although it hasn't been the season that they were looking for, they do have a good player in Isaac Johnson, the 6'5" senior, coming off of a 29-point game just their last game. He's their leading scorer. He scored over 330 points this season. So if you want to win, you just kind of have to, if we can slow him down, I think that's a huge key to this game.
Yeah, another player to look at is Rodney Battle. Battle averaging 15 points a game right behind Johnson. So those two people, if Johnson isn't producing, then expect Battle to produce for the Hillcats Thursday night. And one thing to look at, when you look at these two teams' historical matchup, Bearcats are 7-0, undefeated, all time against the Hillcats. And that dates back to 2020, so about 4 years. Bearcats are 3-0 at both home and away, with one neutral site win in Kansas City in the MIAA quarterfinals back in 2022.
Yeah, and I mean, you haven't lost to this team. I don't think we're going to start now. I think this is, honestly, after the last 3 games, as stressful as they've been, I mean, don't overlook your opponent here, but this should be a game where you can kind of go in there, let guys rest up, not have to play maybe 40-plus minutes for all your top players and still find a way to win this one.
Yeah, when you really look at this game for the Bearcats, it's a game you don't want to overlook, but at the same time, it's a game where if you want guys to get a breather or maybe bring in some other guys off the bench that haven't seen many minutes, you're allowed to do that because the Bearcats bench, although they haven't been getting a lot of minutes this season, they have been playing tremendously when they come into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we always have good depth here, although you don't get to see it until we usually get into games where we're winning by a lot. But hopefully the fourth quarter, the second half, near the end of the last inning of the game, we can kind of get the backups in there and give guys who we might really need down the stretch of the season as we get closer to the NCAA tournament to be healthy.
Yeah, and not only to mention the men's game, but the women's game, who are sitting 18-5 overall and 12-5 in conference play. And Rogers State coming in 9-13, only 4-12 in conference play. So the Hillcats really struggling with conference play.
Yeah, we kind of have not quite a similar situation. I'd say the women's team's a little bit worse than their men's teams. Obviously, 4-12 in conference, that's not ever ideal. You don't want that. But you got to look at what we did last time when we played them. Getting out early, winning 63-42. The women's team has been playing their best brand of basketball they've done all season. So I expect them to do the same exact thing as we played them early in the year. 63-42, I'm kind of thinking similar score this time around.
And for Rogers State, Alasia Knapp is their lead scorer going in. And, if the Bearcats want to win this game, they need to keep Knapp at bay.
Yeah, Knapp's definitely been their top scorer. She's had some really high-scoring games in the season. As long as you can slow her down, I think we'll be okay in this game. Once again, tough games, an easier game for the women now on their schedule. Hopefully they can go ahead and get a nice win here and then just kind of like the men, push towards the tournament.
Well, that'll do it for Bearcat Update with the X. I'm Wiley Wright. Alongside me is Cade Ricketts. We'll send it right back to you, Jason.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that update. On other Northwest basketball news, West Dreamer was just recently nominated for the Trevor Hudgens Award, recognizing the best Division II men's basketball player of the season. We wish him the best of luck as voting continues, and the entirety of Bearcat Nation is behind you. But that's all the time that we have for Bearcat Update. I'm your host, Jason Holland, and you're watching Bearcat Update, the provider of complete coverage of Northwest sports. We post a new episode every Monday at noon, and you can find us on YouTube at KNWT TV. As well as Bearcat Update, you can watch all of KNWT TV's other content as well. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next week.